All right, guys. So last time I showed you how to use Pepper, right? The software on how to generate leads from Facebook group. I showed you how to use it. I just wanted to explain also the math, how the math would work. Okay. So let's say that you know the maximum friend request that we can send is 50 a day, right? So if I do 50 times 30 days, that would be 1,500 friend requests per month, right? If you optimize your Facebook profile, we can probably have a 70% acceptance. How can I say that? Facebook friend request acceptance. Is that how we would say that in English? You know, like out of 1,500 times 0.7, it means that potentially 1,000 people could approve, you know, your friend request, right? So if they approve the friend request, right? So approved here, that would be the number of people, right? That's 70% of the 1,500. And then it means that it's approved, and for each approved, we can send a message, right? Then Pepper sends the messages automatically. So approved plus messages, right? Probably 50% of them will reply to your message, right? So here I'm gonna do the 1,050 times 0.5, right? So now that you're gonna have 500 people, you know, 500 conversations, right? Hold on, let me see the math I did on this earlier. Out of those 500, you can have like like 1 out of 5, right? That would actually set an appointment, right? Or maybe a bit less, 1 out of 5, like 20%. Let's just consider 15%, right? Here I'm gonna say 15%. 15% was the percent. Okay, yeah. 15% would actually set an appointment. So here that would be replies, right? And then appointments, right? And so if I do this times the 0.15, now that's, yeah, that's about right. 78, let's say, 79 people would book an appointment, yeah? And then let's say, you know, you have a 50% close rate. 50% close rate. Have you guys all watched the call reviews I did with Julio? Who watched it? Anna and Mark, probably Rick also, yeah?
I did too, yeah.
Rick
yeah.
also, Elizabeth, did you watch that? Okay. At the beginning, Julio was not closing, right? I did a call with Julio, a group call actually. It was the previous group call. I didn't even pause the recording since it's so new. He was not closing. Now he's at 54% closing rate, right? From like not being able to close to 53, right? So I think that you can at least do 50% close rate, right? 50% close rate. So that would mean that it's 78.75 times 0.5. Potentially here you can get 39 clients a month just doing the Pepper strategy, right? So then you can change the numbers. You know, let's say that actually it's not 70%. You know, I don't know how to call that metric here, right? The number of people that would approve your friend request. Let's just say we are more conservative, and let's just say it's 30%, right? So here I'm gonna change and say it's 30%. So then it means that you would get 16 clients with that strategy, right? Let's just say that it's not 50% the number of people that would reply, but let's just say 30% also. We stay conservative. I'm just gonna change here. Okay, 10 clients a month, right? 10 clients a month. So it means that a lead, well, what's a lead? We can consider that those are leads, you know, the 450, those are leads we could consider. But let's just consider actually the ones that reply, right? So it means that we have 97 bucks that we spend divided by the ones that reply. That would be the cost per lead, right? 71 cents cost per lead. And then cost per acquisition for a new client. That would be 97 bucks divided by the 10 clients that we have, 10 bucks a client. Right? Just wanted to show you the math, you know, that you can have with the Pepper strategy. Right? And so I think that here, you know, we're pretty conservative, you know, 30% of the people would approve your friend requests, 30% that would approve would actually answer your message. Only 15% of the ones that would have replied to your message would actually schedule an appointment, and then you have a 50% closing rate. Right? That's still 10 clients a month, right? You just spend 97 bucks on that software and you get 10 clients a month. So I think that if you really want to like grow the gym super fast, it's advertising, right? But if you just want to be in maintenance mode, right? You already grew the gym, you already advertised, and you just want to like beat the churn, the natural churn that you have. That's enough. 10 clients a month, that's enough just to replace the clients that you would lose with the natural churn that you have, right? So I think that the Pepper strategy is nice as a maintenance, right? And then when you need to grow again, well, you just turn on your ads again, right? I think that both are complementary, right? Make sense? Any questions about this math?
Sorry, you just mentioned optimizing your Facebook profile as well. Is that something I've missed and I need to go and have a look at, or is that?
Yeah, we did a group coaching call on this, and now it became a lesson within the course.
I'll go and check that out.
So now we are using the MaxOut software, the MaxOut all-in-one platform, but also I'm recommending another software that is not mine, that actually sends Facebook requests from Facebook groups that you would have chose that makes sense, you know, for your business. And based on keywords, it would also send a bunch of friend requests. And then the goal is to optimize your Facebook profile so that you have a nice approval rate. I don't know how to call that metric.
No,
you know,
that's good.
Right? So it means that you know, you want to optimize, for instance, the banner that you have at the top of your Facebook profile. You want to have a nice headshot. You want to have a nice title. You know, like you want to like make it look good so that you optimize your approval acceptance rate, whatever the name of that metric, right?
I'll go and check out the lesson.
Yeah, the software is called Pepper. You have a 14-day free trial, and then they have 3 tiers. I think it's 97 bucks, 149, and 249. I believe that the first one is good enough at the beginning. Maybe at the end, you're gonna need the $250 one, because if you start, you know, friending, what did we say here? If you start friending, you know, 1,500 people, and that's 450 accept, you're gonna have a bunch of new friends, right, on your Facebook. The thing is that when you reach 5,000 people, you can't add more friends on your Facebook profile. So let's just say that you have 0 friends. or let's just say that you already have, I don't know, 500 friends, right? It means that you have 4,500 friends left that you can have, right? 4,500 divided by the 450, it means that in 10 months, that's it. You would reach the 5,000 friend limit. So I think that the first 10 months, you can just use the $97 plan. And then once you reach the 5,000 people, then you need to upgrade to the $250 plan, because then it allows you to unfriend people automatically if they never reply back to you, or, you know what I mean? Like, you can unfriend also automatically. So those are the math about this, right? I think that you can get actually very cheap leads and very cheap clients. It's not that scalable though, right? It's not that scalable because, well, we can only send so many friend requests, and we can only send so many messages, and then you can only handle so many conversations. It's not very scalable, but at least, you know, it's a cheap way to get new clients, and it's good for maintenance. It's not the way to scale and grow very quickly. If you want to scale and grow very quickly, it's still advertising. And even if the cost of advertising is only going up, right? If you were advertising 5 years ago, we were getting gym leads for cents, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. Then it became $1 or $2. Then it became 3 or 5 or 6. And now 2021, it's more like 10 or 15 or even 20 for a lead, because more and more advertisers on Facebook, more and more advertisers on Instagram, you know, big companies with millions to spend. The cost of the advertising on Facebook is just going higher. The news feed is getting more crowded with more advertisers spending money on it, right? And also, well, you know, the pandemic, it doesn't help, you know, generating leads for a brick and mortar gym, right? So the leads are more expensive, but at least it's scalable. And if you optimize your scheduling rate and your show up rate and your closing rate, it doesn't really matter if you spend 10 or 15 or even 20 bucks for a lead, right? If you optimize what's after the lead generation, it doesn't really matter if we spend more for a lead. It's still very, very, very worth it if we want to grow quickly. Advertising is still the best way if you want to grow quickly. And then we have that other method, which is the Pepper method, just for maintenance.
I can attest to the cost per lead. My cost per leads have been high for a while, but you know, I just close that shit. You know, the more well-oiled you are on the process of following up on them, the less you really care how much the lead costs. Sometimes I almost prefer higher lead costs because, well, this is case by case, I guess. But from time to time, there's been times where I've had higher lead costs and super high conversions go along with it. Like if my lead, I've had it where like my lead cost is like $48, which is a little expensive, on a little bit freaky, but I mean, I'll close like, you know, 90% of them. And that doesn't really stress me out too much. You do the math and it's still like, you know, you made $1,900 and you only paid for 48 up front, you know, it's like, all right, well, I do that in a heartbeat over and over again, you know?
Right, exactly. You said $48, right? That's very high for a lead.
Yeah, that's about as high as I like to have it be under 30, but yeah.
Right. You see here, $48. If we consider the same scaling rate than Anthony right now, that's 48 divided by 0.83. It means that an appointment costs 58. But then he has a 100% show and a 100% closing. So it means that it's still 58 for the show and it's still 58 for the appointment. And then he enrolls them either on a $600 body transformation program or memberships at 180, 195, 217, 440, 560, 200, 120, 340, right? Well, whatever.
Still worth it. Still worth it for
know,
sure.
Whatever spending, what did I say? 58, I said.
58, I think. Yeah.
Whatever spending 58 when right away you make your money back really well, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
not a concern.
Not a concern at all, right?
Yeah.
If we look at his return on ad spend here for Anthony, on month number 1, he's multiplying his money by 19.3. And actually, it's even more because he didn't even mention, you know, what one customer here is paying. So it's probably even more. But let's even forget about this customer. You know, here if I show you the customer pricing, there is just one new client that where we don't know for what price it was. This one here, Carl Cheeseman. Yeah, we don't know, right? So it's probably even more. But even if we forget about Carl Cheeseman here, yeah, he's multiplying his money by 19 on the month number 1, and then by 165, because we know that some people signed up for 6 months or 12 months agreement. So it's sure that that money on the back end will be generated here, the 43.8K. And then you also got some challengers. You see 16 memberships and 3 challengers. By the way, guys, you see we attract maybe with a body transformation program, with a challenge, but it's only to attract them, right? Here, 16 out of 19 signed up for a membership, not for a challenge, right? Only 3 challengers. Actually, it was probably a downsell, those 3 challengers, right? It was probably a downsells, right? So we know that we've got a bunch of members that sign up for a membership. And so because we have those 3 challengers, probably that some of them will convert into members at the end of the 6 or 8 or 12-week program. And then that probably we're going to generate even more cash. That's the projected cash, you know, for the people that would go from challengers to member. And then if we also include that projected cash, actually the return on ad spend is at 184x. That's not percent, it's X, right? It's each and every time that he invests $1, it becomes 19.3. And then with the time, when he waits for the memberships payments, it becomes 184, right? He's getting clients for 15. So you see here, at least that has been done in 1 week of advertising, by the way, right? Just 1 week of advertising, 19 new clients and 16 new members. That's what I mean, you know. The cost per acquisition here is at 16, basically, right? Which is higher than the 10 that we calculated earlier. But are you really gonna be mad to spend $15 for a client instead of 10? I don't think you're gonna be mad, you know, because at least this has been done in 1 week only, right? With this method, that would be done in 1 month, right? So are you really gonna be mad to spend 15 for clients when you advertise, but then you know that you get 19 clients with just 1 week of advertising? You know, I don't think so, right? So sure, advertising now is more expensive, but it's still really freaking worth it. You should still do it. And then the Pepper method is complementary, because then you get cheaper clients, but it's not that scalable, right? Pros and cons here is that the Pepper method may be cheaper clients, not scalable. Advertising, a bit more expensive for a client, really freaking scalable, as many as you want. Okay, any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Hannah.
I just have one question about this Pepper thing, because you in the lesson showed that you are always putting the keyword like owner or gym and so on. I can't really find my keywords.
Ah.
Because you have pretty clear
Yeah,
But
for
my-
me, it's clear for you.
Exactly. I try to look into the
I mean,
group, but it's like it can be anyone.
Yeah, it can be anyone really,
Okay.
except if you really want to target a wealthier crowd,
Oh, that's true.
you know, and maybe you find the lawyers and the doctors and, you know, but I think that you can actually friend everybody as long as your Facebook group is a good Facebook group, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that you necessarily need keywords, yeah, to grow your gym.